Hello, here we are again with Muki Tenenbaum, exploring his disillusionism, his philosophy, his nostalgic theory about human behavior. And we are completing now a short series of 3 videos, trying to understand the workings behind human behavior. We spoke about a first and a second computer, and now we are going to focus on a third in a network of sorts that explains how is it that we behave in everyday life. So third video on the short series, now on the third computer. You need to see the 2 previous one, I guess, before seeing this one.
You don't need to. You can watch this one. I will make it short. Computer number 1 is the animal in us, exactly like any other animal. We have a program, we run a program, that's it. And there is nothing. There is only one time for the computer number 1, here and now. Then you have computer number 2, is the one that do 2 things. One, it gives us self-awareness. It recognizes us. It's like a computer number 2 looks at computer number 1 and recognizes it and identifies it, and then uses the memory bank to foresee the future somehow, to try to foresee the future. And that's what permits us to decide to make a meeting for Tuesday. Yes, because of course for computer number 1 there is no Tuesday. The limit of times for computer number 2 is, since you probably you remember your memory, until the normal horizon of your life. Yes, 20 years, 30 years, depending of your age, 40, 50, but no more than that. Computer number 3 is totally different. Computer number 3 is a computer that deals with our moral judgments. It has all what we call principles or that we call values are all there, and it has a very specific power, a very specific weapon, and that is guilty feelings. Feeling of guilt is the way in which computer number 3 imposes, it enforces its rules, its laws. Yes. The only difference, the other difference between the 3 computers, it's that computer number 1 is fastest, 2 is second fastest, and the third computer number 3 is slowest. It's the slowest of the 3. In time, in respect of times, computer number 3 is since the birth of man and ends infinite, in much after my death. That means that because of computer number 3, if I am 80-year-old and I couldn't care less about climate change, if there would be climate change, I will do everything in my power to take care of climate change, or even make a will. Yes. Mm-hmm. So my children will have. The computer number 2 will never make a will. It doesn't make any sense, because you will be dead, and since you are dead, there is no need for anything. You're not there. For computer number 3, immortality is a given. In different ways. Yes, it could be real immortality, it could be partial immortality, and it could be, like I said, this kind of immortality in which your children have to be taken care of. Not only your children, everybody's children. And you also have obligations from the past, because you are a Jew. You are supposed to do certain things because your great grandparents left Egypt when they were slaves, or something like that. Or if you are a woman, you should be. You should remember that all the women that were slaves to men, and I can continue. You know, the contents are huge. What do you think, Florencio?
I wanted to ask you about the interaction. I think I understand what you mean properly. There's a moral consciousness. It has a sort of eternal, or at least timeless values in it. But how does it interact with our 2 other computers? How does this moral consciousness influence actual behavior in the here and now, as regulated by the first, the animal computer, and the predictions of the self-aware second computer?
Well, because it has a slower reaction. Let's say you are in a situation in which you walk in the street, and suddenly a child, it's bothering you, does not allow you to walk. Your first reaction is, come on, let me walk. The third computer will say, how you do that to a child? It's a child. You cannot do that. Of course, computer number two will tell you, wait, the parents may be here. You may be in trouble. So computer number three will appear after. It's very common. That's the reason we have guilty feelings. If computer number three was as fast as computer number one, there will never be guilty feelings, ever, because we will never do anything computer number three doesn't tell us. But computer number three is also mysterious. It has certain quirks that we don't know about. There are certain rules. Suddenly we feel guilty feelings of something we could not have foreseen. Computer number one tells computer number two, what are you doing? Why didn't you tell me that it's going to hurt? Yes, computer number three, I didn't know. Computer number three, she's the one. Of course, this conversation doesn't happen. I am just being making a cartoon out of this. But basically, computer number three is slow. So guilty feelings are very common. And so you start, then your behavior, the way you see life, is started. You start learning. Computer number one and computer number two start learning from that, and your behavior starts being limited by the rules that you think computer number three has. And when you go over those rules, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, you will feel the pain. Give you an example. Let's say you are attracted to a married woman, yes, and computer number one, of course, has no problem. Number two thinks about these different possibilities that the husband may arrive. I don't know, whatever it is. And once you are close to go to bed to have sex with that woman, if computer number three does not appear, you will have sex, and then you will the bill will come. Yes, the invoice will be sent for computer number three, and suffering will ensue. Remember, the only thing we do is running away from suffering. So the weapon of number three is very hard, because the guilty feelings are a very powerful weapon.
Great. I think we will come back to this in the future, but it's clear enough through this short series of videos. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.